Hello, Tube. Oh, my back. A person has only grown when, no matter what people say to them, no matter what souls say to them, so I'm trying to get comfy. No matter what souls say to them, nasty or nice, the soul has only grown when they can just ignore that rather than reacting to it. And if you feel anger rising, pray for that person, and you will notice, if you do that on a regular basis, you will notice that you go to where the gods are. You go beyond. You go beyond attachment to that person, which means, see, prayer is power. As long as you get annoyed with another person, you're feeding that cycle. The cycle, the reason the whole world is the way it is because there's a circle of rage. There's a circle of negative emotions. The world wouldn't need to be here. The people wouldn't need to be here. Nothing would need to be here. Everyone would be in the Garden of Eden, which is the bliss within the centre of the soul. If it weren't for original sin, you know what original sin is, don't you? It's where you fall down to lust, fall down to rage, fall down to anger, fall down to jealousy. As long as you can control those emotions by praying for other people, then you won't feel attracted to go back to those negative souls. See how the world works is someone is nasty to another person, and the other person probably ignores that person for a few months and then gets back in touch with them again. And as that cycle continues, and then they get on for another few months, and then the same thing happens. As that cycle continues, it perpetuates the cycle of life, how everything has to keep coming back, going round. Buddhism say that life is like a Ferris wheel. Everything just keeps going round and round and round and round. That's how Buddhists describe life in this world. They say the best way to describe it is to watch a Ferris wheel keep going round, and you'll notice year after year, month after month, week after week, day after day, the Ferris wheel will just keep going round and round and round. The same with life. It could all be terminated now if love was brought from the centre of the being up to the surface of the being. If divine, untainted, unconditional love was brought from the centre of the being to the surface of the being, then it could all be terminated. There is no reason for people to be here in this suffering. There is no reason for people to be in this melancholy. People can choose to leave any moment. They can choose to be free. But the problem is, if you told most people that, they wouldn't believe it. But according to their belief, there's a Bible saying, according to your belief, as a man trusteth in his heart, so is he. What does that mean? If I says you was free, you would say, yes, but I don't believe I'm free. And that's why you're giving yourself away. You don't believe you're free. This is where the problem comes. If you was to pray on a regular basis, you would gradually become free over time. And therefore, it's not a question of belief, it's a question of experience. You shouldn't take things on belief, you should try to experience them. The only way you can experience spirit is to become spirit. And where is the spirit is deep within the soul, deep within yourself. There is no other way. You can't go to church and find God there unless it's deep within your soul, unless you can find that peace deep within your soul. Then doing anything won't give you peace. You can go to fun fairs, you can go to lots and lots of different entertainments, and you will only find temporary fleeting moments of joy, temporary fleeting moments of peace, temporary fleeting moments of bliss. Because the true joy, the true peace is deep within the soul. You feel it when you're asleep, you feel a moment of, or you feel some time of peace. Sleep was granted to souls after the Garden of Eden so that they could find some kind of solace, so that they could find some kind of peace. But originally they didn't need sleep because they were in a divine state of incorruptibility. Their body was immutable, or in a phenomenal state of immutability. I don't say that people should believe this. I don't say that people should believe that. I say, and I'm a very stubborn person who never believes anything. People tell me do this, do that, and the more they say that, the more I won't do it. But through experience, I know that the way out is the way in, and the way in is the way out. Is that right? The way out is the way in, meaning the way out of the labyrinth is the way inwards into the soul. And the way into the labyrinth is the way out, meaning out into the world. So the same people can be going through the same negative emotions every month, every week, every day, every year. And then they get to old age and they think, oh, what happened? Where's all those years gone? But the thing is, unless you make the effort with your soul, spirituality is a soul thing. It is a soul. You have to decide what you want, whether you want pain and suffering or whether you want peace and bliss. The soul has the desire. If the soul has the desire to be free, then you'll make the effort to be free. If the soul doesn't have the desire, then you will just keep on suffering. But always, no matter how content you seem on the surface, always there's a patter of voices deep in the soul saying, I want to be free. Because the soul has desires too. And the soul desires to meditate because the soul knows that is the practical method to be free. So it's not anything to do with belief. Whether religions say, oh, believe in Jesus, believe in this, believe in the other. The soul knows in itself that the only way out is through transcendence, which is the soul climbing up the Kundalini, climbing up the spine. The Kundalini is the way out. Tantra, mantra, yantra. See, mandala. There's lots of different directions in life. There's lots of different ways to go. You could go the way of pain, you could go the way of suffering, you could go the way of peace, you can go the way of bliss. There are many options, there are many choices. Don't let other people bring you down to their level. They can try as much as they want, but if your mind is strong, if you know what you want in your soul, and you can always strengthen your willpower at any moment. Affirmations such as every day, in every way, my willpower grows stronger and stronger. Affirmations similar to that can strengthen your resolve, what you really want. What you really want. What you really want determines your whole life, your whole destiny, your fate as a being on this planet Earth. You've been here many times, and there are many ways forward and many ways backwards. But but it's too easy for souls to take 2 steps forward and 1 step backwards. Always keep in mind what you want, what you truly want. Concentrate, focus on what you want, and that focus will set you free. Jesus says, the truth will set you free. But what is the truth? The truth is that you're just as much soul now as you ever will be. You only dream in this world. This world is here as a dream. It seems real, but that's only on the surface. Once you go to sleep, it's not real. And the experiences you have in sleep when you wake up in this world, those experiences aren't real either. So what is real? We know what is real and what is not real when we hear in our intuition, deep in our mind, at the 6th sense, the Ajna chakra, when we hear that voice saying, take this course of action, take that course of action. When we hear that voice telling us, then that is the truth. That is the way forward. That is the way out. Souls may go on hating all these negative emotions that can just go round and round, but it's a waste of time if you really want to be free, and you can choose to be. I mean, I remember as a child, I remember on a bouncing castle, I remember a friend of my sister's, I was bouncing up and down on a bouncing castle as you do as a child, and this girl, she hurt herself or something, and she was really angry in the car, saying this, that and that, and this, that and the other about me, and my mum was in the front seat having a go at me, and I just remember praying in my mind. I just remember praying really loud for them. I just remember just really trying to pray for them, and then the thought struck me in my mind that even though my mum was much older than me, that spiritually she was way behind. I had that thought deep in my mind. On the surface, I was really trying to pray, and I'm not saying that to put people down at all. I'm just giving an example of of an experience, but I just pray that people find peace, that people find love, people find tranquility. And as long as I do that, I know I am beyond. I cannot be understood because I'm beyond the emotions that the humans focus on. Because I'm beyond those emotions, I can never be understood. I know it, Lee. But if I focus on those negative emotions that they focus on, if I allow myself to be influenced by their negative emotions, then all I'm doing is bringing pain to myself, aren't I? I have to, as a soul, I have to rise above negative emotions. There's no 2 ways about it. I want to be free, and therefore I know the only way to be free is to pray for them. They can be nasty as much as they want, but they can drink as much alcohol as they want, but I know my conscience is clear. I know that if I keep my mind pristine, I know that if I continually pray, then they will be free. I know I will be free. Because everything in the world is a reflection of yourself. If you think negative emotions, then you will attract negative experiences. If you really want a perfect life, then you must control your mind. I mean, even if someone's nasty to you and you don't say anything back to them, believe me, circumstances will say a lot to that person. That person will go through a life full of pain and suffering simply because they held loads of grudges towards a person that only wanted their best, that only wanted the best for that soul. Karma has a way has a way of hurting the people, giving them not necessarily hurting them, but giving them the experiences they need to grow as a soul. That is what karma is. It's there so that your soul can grow like a flower, like a perfect rose. That is what karma is. If you keep your mind perfect, if you keep it peaceful and you pray for others, then your life will be perfect. It doesn't matter what other people do. They can try and cause trouble for you as much as they want. Your life will reflect what you think in your head, and if you're praying for them people, then you're asking karma to bring good experiences into your life, and therefore your life will be perfect, because you're following the law. The law is love. That is the first law of the universe: to love all, to love everything, to love every single being in the universe, as God does. If you can do that, then you'll have a perfect life. You have a perfect life exactly as God has a perfect life, always, all the time. Because you're sending out good thoughts to others constantly. As long as you can do that, then karma will ensure that your life is pristine, both now, in the future, at all times. The first law of the universe is love all, love everything, love every single being. If you can do that, then you'll guarantee a perfect existence for yourself. And the people that continue hating you will continue to attract negative experiences into their life. Because karma dictates that what you give out is what you'll get in return. I couldn't even begin to describe it. The best alcohol, the best drugs, they don't even come close. The state of peace, the state of bliss that you can experience, none of them synthetic things can even come close to the bliss in the soul. If you're on the right path, you'll feel an indescribable state of peace and bliss rising from your very loins. The Kundalini has two objectives, two spears, two spheres, S-P-H-E-R-E, I think. Two spears. One way is to go up towards God, and the other way is to go down towards sex. The Kundalini has two objectives: procreate the world, or just randomly release. Or the other way is to send the energy where you feel and meet Brahm, the Lord, Jehovah, Jesus, Muhammad, Allah, Moses, Buddha. And once you are there, you'll only need to come down as and when you wish to. So if you're feeling pain, you can just switch it off by going back. Once you have the keys to the kingdom, you can release yourself back into the kingdom at any time. So the body can be suffering, but you don't need to suffer. The soul is in perfect tranquility in this, beyond the stars. I bet I've confused everyone now with this video. I apologise for that. Konnichiwa. God bless all and everyone, including everyone that is nasty and vile to me. God bless all of them.